Hey guys, Austin with FoodisOurFuel here, and I want to apologize for being absent for a while. I haven't been slothful in my absence. I have been working on a separate project. I've actually been working on a book geared toward the basic aspects of nutrition, um, kind of some information to help those of you that are kind of new to it get started, along with some full meal recipes to help you get started, or for those of you that have been doing it for a while and you can just add to your recipe collection. Hopefully you'll learn something new from it too. So I've been working on that. But I wanted to bring a video to you today about excess and gluttony. It's something I've been struggling with personally. Probably anywhere from 9 to 12 months, depending on where I might start. I'd say the pattern really started last summer of 2024. And it snowballed over time, especially at family gatherings and holidays. But in general, it's very easy to get caught up in excess, especially in the United States, where food really is plentiful. There's food in gas stations, there's food in grocery stores. When it comes to gatherings and parties, food is typically a centerpiece. And if you're not practicing self-control regularly, it can be difficult to restrain yourself when food is always available. There's a similar principle when it comes to trying to eat healthier, and you've got all of this junk food in your cupboard. You got Little Debbie's donuts and the little Hostess muffins and things like that. It's hard when you're already in the habit of eating those things to stop when they're always around and always available. And I realized, and I'm working through practicing more self-control. And I just wanted to kind of give some encouragement and some advice. As I was reading the Bible today, and for those of you that may not know me, I am Christian. Rather, I am a follower and friend of Jesus Christ. And I was reading through 1st and 2nd Timothy for the past couple of days, and I read, I believe it was 1 Timothy chapter 6, verses 6 through 8. And Paul was writing to Timothy about contentment. I don't have the Bible right in front of me, so forgive me if I don't quote it verbatim. But it was along the lines of godliness with contentment is gain. For we came into this world with nothing, and it is certain that we will take nothing with us when we go. And verse 8, following that, he says, give me one, I'm trying to recall. He says, for with food and raiment, being clothing, so to clarify, I'm quoting from the King James Version. So with food and raiment, we ought to have contentment. And I realize that, at least in part, my struggle with excess is a decision to not be content with what I've already received. 3 meals a day, it really is a blessing. And I do look forward to the meal times that I have in the day. And there are times that I get thoughts that come into my head about having a dessert, or having an extra snack, and I'll be thinking about those things while I'm eating my meal. And so I've shifted from the mindset of being appreciative and content with the meal I have in front of me and enjoying it while I'm eating it, to now looking forward to eating something else after it. And then, it just keeps spiraling from there. And there are times that, unfortunately, I have binged, and I've binged on some occasions to the point that I've put myself in pain. I've never gotten to the point where I've actually thrown up because of it, but I have gotten myself to the point where I've been nauseous. My stomach is so bloated that it hurts. I can barely sit up or stand up straight because it hurts so bad. I'm hunching over to try and, depress that feeling of bloating. So I just wanted to share those verses, and share my own personal experience with excess. It is a challenge, and for those of you that may experience similar moments, or maybe it's a constant struggle for you, just know that you're not alone, and just try to start deciding to be content, because contentment is a decision. It's a decision that I have chosen not to make in those instances, and that's why I've, ended up in pain, because I've decided to not be content with what I've already received, with the meal I've eaten. And on those occasions where I'm at family gatherings and maybe I have a cookie, I've chosen to not be content and keep going back for another cookie or a piece of pie or a Buckeye ball or what have you. And that's on me, right? And so just know, when it comes to nutrition, and eating healthier, there is a place for enjoying the food you eat. There is a pleasure present in eating healthy foods. And healthy foods don't have to taste bland. But that pleasure comes from a decision to be content in the meals that you have, in the food you already have before you, rather than always thinking about the very next thing. So I hope this helps you. Again, I apologize for my absence. I can't promise when the next video will be, but I am, again, working on that book, and I hope to have that out soon. But until then, and until I see you next, I hope you all have a wonderfully blessed day. I'll see you.